Today marks a monumental chapter in NASA Rallycross history as we introduce the brand new Future Series, a direct feeder series designed to discover and develop the next generation of Rallycross stars. Sonoma Raceway serves as the thrilling backdrop for this inaugural event, where the top 5 finishers will earn their ticket to the prestigious NASA Rallycross Lites series, now entering its 5th competitive season. The addition of the Future Series expands the NASA Rallycross landscape from 3 Elite Series, Supercars, Contenders, and Lights, to 4, showcasing NASA's commitment to nurturing fresh talent and growing the sport. With high stakes, intense competition, and a golden opportunity for up-and-coming drivers, the Future Series is set to be a proving ground for the Rallycross champions of tomorrow. Buckle up and get ready for a day of high-octane action as the road to Rallycross glory begins here at Sonoma. Tonight's event takes place at the virtual Sonoma Raceway, a track with a rich history dating back to its construction in 1968. North American Simulated Auto Racing, or NASA for short, began hosting events here in 2018B. Set in the heart of California's wine country, Sonoma's Rallycross layout spans 0.93 miles and is renowned for its challenging, undulating terrain. This 5-turn course incorporates notable features, including the iconic carousel section from the full road course layout, making it a fan favorite. In NASA Rallycross, our format is as follows. We are finishing open practice now, which leads us into a 3-lap single-car qualifying that splits the field equally into 5-lap heat races, with the Joker lap taken once. The top 2 transfer to the feature automatically. The winner gets 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2. The rest of our drivers will be sent to the semifinals, also 5 laps with 1 Joker lap. The top 2 transfer to the feature, and the winners receive a bonus point. This sets the grid for our 10-lap feature race, where the points are awarded and trophies are handed out. Unique to NASA Rallycross, 2 Jokers are taken during the feature. The first season of Futures of the NASA Rallycross Challenge commences tonight, live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Victor Vallee in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Ethan Halsey, as we welcome you to Sonoma, California. Yeah, I'm... All right, and we are experiencing some technical difficulties, so we'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience with our technical difficulties. As we are getting set to get qualifying started here for the inaugural race of the NASA Rallycross Future Series here at Sonoma. Drivers are concluding their practicing here, putting all their lap times in. Jeff Cartwright so far leads at the top of the board here with a 42.053. He is the fastest here in practice. And as we get qualifying going here, we'll bring Victor here in with us. Victor, welcome to our first season here of the Futures. What are you expecting out of this series here as we come into our opening event? Absolutely. Definitely a lot to look forward to here. As so far, JP DeFino sits at the top of the board, a 42.736. So far as the fastest time in qualifying. Looks like 5 or 6 drivers here have taken time. Jake Robichaud as well with a 43.176. So a solid looking lap for him. A lot of familiar names here, as you were talking about. Quite a few names, but also quite a few new ones, too. A lot of drivers we haven't quite seen in the NASA Rallycross Series before, looking to take their challenge here at a series that is, well, very open to beginners. So it's going to be great to see a lot of kind of up-and-coming talent coming through the series, and it's going to be fun to see how they do over the course of the season. And with that, Lucas Hill has just jumped to the top of the board with a 42.722. He will now sit on top of the pylon here. And once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties where we're having a little trouble. We are working on getting that fixed as thankfully Victor behind the scenes getting everything taken care of. It is our first race of the new season, so working out all the bugs thankfully now, and hopefully we'll have a great rest of the season ahead of us. As Eric Dubois goes to the top of the board, 42.657. That's a very good time for Eric. This is he was around in the light series last year as well. A solid result for him racing for the he was at the TWRS team in the 000. Let's take a look. Any drivers on track? Looks like we have a couple of drivers still taking time. Eric Dubois, who currently does sit on pole, is currently still out on the racetrack. Looks like we have, looks like about another 5 minutes or so here left of qualifying. Drivers are kind of taking their final lap times. Everyone does get 3 laps to qualify, so you get plenty of time. A couple other drivers on track as well. Joseph Pasucci is on track as well, currently sitting 12th on the running order at a 44.099 is currently his fastest lap of the session. Stephen Moreau also on track, a 44.694, currently sitting 14th on the grid. We also have Joseph DiGiacomo, a 44.926, currently sitting 15th on the grid as well. So a couple of cars still remaining on track. So hopefully we have all of our difficulties squared away. So we'll bring Victor back into the booth here. As we're wrapping up qualifying, Victor, what kind of trends are you seeing so far from the drivers taking their qualifying laps?
Say honestly, right now what I see is what I was expecting to see. The guys who we do know pretty well. Your Eric Dubois, your JP DeFinos, Jeff Cartwrights, Jake Robichaux, those guys near the top of the order. That was to be expected, of course, because these guys got all of the experience. They were getting tested last year by a lot of the guys who now you see as your White's field, such as Josh Mertz, Brian Sawyer, all of those guys. And it looks like it's just going to be a really good mix of those guys. We have a couple new names near the top of the order here, such as Lucas Hill. He's brand new to the series, I do believe. So great run for the 199 right there in second.
Absolutely, and I know Josh always likes to bring up the NASA bias over OSRL. Well, I'll bring over the OSRL bias into NASA. Lucas Hill ran our GT3 series over there and actually was very competitive in the AM class, won a race as well. So it's great to see him come over here to Rallycross as well, kind of dip his toes into it. Always like to see some familiar names, especially at the top of the board.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I love seeing the camaraderie between the two series here. A lot of names kind of jump over between the two. I know we saw Josh Mertz in the OSRL Stock Car Series earlier this season. Before that fell through, but a lot of those guys kind of mixing it up between each other. I know we have JP DeFino and the Saints and Sinners squad that ran over there, and I believe they ran. I think they did. Did they win the championship? I believe they were either second or the champions of the team championship over there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Saints and Sinners Pro was second in the team standings last year, right behind the Super Speeder squad.
That's right.
So, yeah, very good outing for them. So it's always great to see the mutual drivers between the two series. Always fun to see.
Absolutely. And not only that, but we have a lot of guys in this series that have been around for quite a while here. The likes of JP DeFino, as we mentioned earlier. And so it's going to be interesting to see, especially with this new format, with the top 5 drivers coming from going over to the feature, per se, the night show, which is going to be the NASA Rallycross Lites. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here for sure.
All right, looks like qualifying has concluded. Eric Dubois will end on the pole. Let's get ready for our first heat here. Let's take a look at our grid for Heat 1. It's going to be Eric Dubois starting right there on the front row. With him will be Jeff Cartwright in second, Eric Kaplinger in third, Jacob Krask will start fourth, and finally Damon Mitchell will round out the first heat here. As we said before, our heats are 5 laps, and everyone will be taking 1 joker lap throughout the course of the heat race. Looks like we're just waiting for one more car. There he is. Dubois is on track. We're getting ready for the lights to go green.
Looks like
little jump right there from someone
Mitchell
in the back, and we are green. Damon Mitchell jumps the star a little bit, and here we go, rallying down the track into turn 1. Oh, a little bit of contact there between the 000 and the 277 right there. They're still going to be side by side, and with that, Eric Dubois will clear himself, coming around and going over the jump.
So far, so clean on the start. Besides that little jump from Damon Mitchell, he gave it back, so I don't expect that to be a penalty. If there is any kind of penalty in the sim, I would assume the officials would clear that for Mitchell.
I'm seeing on my records here he does have a black flag, and so far I don't see it being cleared just yet.
So it
appears he might have gotten a jump there.
Yeah, he definitely jumped that start, and the iRacing system will give him that black flag, but as we see,
contact into the wall. Jeff Cartwright hits the wall a little bit there, and he hits the wall again, and then contact with the 27 to Damon Mitchell as Cartwright goes around.
That is so easy to do, too. You have to get as close as you can to that wall, and it just jumps out just a little bit, and it'll bite you every time.
Yeah, Damon Mitchell taking his joker right there. The leader, Eric Dubois, will do so as well. Pretty tight battle here. Krask and Damon Mitchell is the two closest cars on the racetrack right now, running third and fourth. Although bear in mind, Damon Mitchell has taken his Joker lap. See, here goes Kaplinger going for his Joker. Let's see where he's going to come out compared to Dubois here. Still going to be behind him. So as of now, still 1-2. Dubois and Kaplinger appear to be running away with this so far. Jacob Krask, Damon Mitchell, and of course the beached Jeff Cartwright, currently not on the track any longer.
Yep, and everybody's strategy is done, so this is just a straight-up race here between Dubois, Kaplinger, and Krask. If he can track down Kaplinger for that transfer position, otherwise, these guys are going to be going through that LCQ.
Absolutely, and if we could tell from last season as well, those LCQs can get pretty hairy, so it's definitely good to try to get yourselves into the heat, into the feature right away. And around goes Krask in the back off the jump. Turned himself a little sideways there. He's going to back up in the Joker section, and he's going to try to get back on straight here. That will secede the spot to Damon Mitchell, who will slide up to the third position.
Yeah, we're going to just watch that back real quick. Yep, another easy thing to do, getting over the jump. A little bit crooked there, and you just have to hang on at that point, and he's done a really good job to hang on to that thing without hitting any kind of walls or anything like that. But that definitely ends his chances of making it through to the feature through this heat.
Here we go. We're going to go over the jump here. We're going to come take our final lap of the heat, and Kaplinger, I don't know if it's just me, it looks like he's kind of reeled in Dubois a little bit. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time here to get him, but you never know. Mistakes can happen.
No, absolutely. He has reeled him in by a good bit there. Last lap for Dubois was 43.5 to a 43.0 for Eric Kaplinger. Kaplinger on his way here within a second, but I don't think, as you said, it's going to be enough. But definitely showing some good pace here, trying to figure out that car, and he's doing a really good job figuring that thing out.
Yeah, look at the amount he's gained here. The 277 right on the back bumper of the 000. Unfortunately, it just will not be enough. Eric Dubois will come home with heat number 1, and Eric Kaplinger will also be advancing to the feature race.
Looks like our final finishers coming across the line now. That's Mitchell and Krask. Krask coming through that final corner through the jump here.
Yeah, tough break there for Saints and Sinners. Both their cars running into trouble in this heat. Hopefully they'll be able to clean it all up in the LCQ. Thankfully their night isn't quite over yet, but definitely going to be an uphill battle to climb.
Yeah, most definitely.
As we now get ready to get heat number 2 gridding. Here is what our lineup will look like for heat number 2. Lucas Hill will start in first. Jake Robichaux, Kevin Garcia, Dylan Babcock, and Stephen Moreau will round out your field. I noticed some new faces in this heat. Looks like Kevin Garcia and Dylan Babcock seem like they're new to me. So we'll see how they perform here tonight. We're just waiting on one more car to grid. I believe it is the 505 of Kevin Garcia.
Yep, that is who we're waiting on there. That 505 found car on the outside right there on the outside.
And there he is, popping in. Let's get ready to make the lights green. Let's get racing here for heat number 2. And green flag, we're off to a start. Clean start from everyone this time. Really great start from the 505 of Garcia, who's going to clear the 199 of Hill going into turn 1.
That was a commanding start by the 505 of Kevin Garcia. He is here to play, and he's out there in the lead right now in that blue and yellow Beetle.
Absolutely. That was a power move around the outside to get around your pole sitter for the heat. And look at this. Dive to the inside. Goes the 69 Robichaux. Contact with the 505 of Garcia. But he has planted himself right in this battle. The 69 and the 505 side by side going down through that turn.
Getting argy-bargy here. Jake Robichaux trying to get to the lead here. He knows he has that 199 right on his tail as they go through the right-hander here. A little bit of contact, but they're still clean, still good.
Really tight battle between the top three here so far. As the top two will Joker. The 505 of Garcia who loses it. Oh, Jake Robichaux losing it on the Joker. Gets very loose right there. Gives up a ton of time.
Seems like he just went in a little bit too hot there, but he gathered it back up. Still P2, but Lucas Hill right there on his tail, and one Joker could put Hill right back in front here, so it'll be interesting.
Absolutely, though the one person that probably didn't benefit was Hill, who originally probably would have had to clean air there between him and the 69. Now he's stuck in traffic, so even when he does Joker, he's probably going to lose some time to that 505.
Potentially, but again, I don't really know if he's worried about the 505 here. He just wants to transfer. He looked like he was going to Joker right there, but he decided not to.
Clipped the wall a little bit. Yeah, made some contact, opening the door for the 257 to Dylan Babcock right behind him. And look at this. That 69 of Lucas Hill, or excuse me, Jake Robichaux has really reeled in that 505 of Jake Garcia. He is right back in this.
Yeah, I got Kevin Garcia right there in the lead right now in that 505, but his last lap was over almost a second slower than the 69 of Jake Robichaux right there on his tail. And
here comes Robichaux. Took a look to the inside, couldn't quite make the move there. He's going to look to try to get it next time around.
Oh, and Kevin Garcia's joking for a second time. You can't do that.
That's a no-no. I don't believe you can do that.
Yeah.
Lucas Hill goes in jokers for his time here, and he's going to come out just in front of the 69 of Jake Robichaux. Oh, boy, the newcomer making a rookie mistake right there and jokering a second time. I believe that is a penalty.
That is.
So I believe that will be technically meaning that Lucas Hill should be now leading the heat race here.
That is correct. It's going to be Lucas Hill in the lead, followed by Jake Robichaux. Those two are your provisional qualifiers as it stands right now to move on to the feature. I believe, I'm not sure if it does or not, I believe that does park Kevin Garcia for the rest of the night.
Oh, that is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, absolutely. As side-by-side is Robichaux and Babcock. Babcock in the 257 goes around the outside. That is going to be for that transfer spot. As we're going to come into the final lap here of the heat, Dylan Babcock, the newcomer, has just passed Jake Robichaux for the transfer spot.
Oh, and he slides wide right there.
Robichaux back down to the inside here.
Robichaux hooked that right-hand corner right there, right on that pavement dirt where it kind of fades out there, and that's what's got him the grip, and that's why he's
Man,
back
look at that.
around.
Jake Robichaux, a power move right around the outside. He's going to take that position right back from Babcock.
Ooh,
And Babcock's going to get
wide.
a little bit wide off the track there and clip the wall. And with that, Lucas Hill will come over the jump and will be the winner of heat number 2. Drama unfolding in this heat as your actual winner, Kevin Garcia, gets
and
DQ'd.
Babcock's around.
Babcock is around at the back of the field. That will move Stephen Moreau up to the 3rd finishing position. And Jake Robichaux will be transferring to the feature along with Lucas Hill. My goodness, what a massive implication there. He accidentally took a joker twice there.
Yeah, and that, I believe that does end his night, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to get confirmation on that, but I do believe that is the end of his night.
Unfortunate there for the newcomer. Looked quite fast tonight as we move on to heat number 3. It's going to be JP Divino, Matthew Grove, Chris Lunan, Joseph Pasucci, and Joseph DiGiacomo rounding out the field on this one. It looks like Pasucci moved a little bit there. As the green flag will fly, we'll see if he gives the time back before he gets black flagged. DeFino jumps out to the lead. No contest there from Chris Lunan in the 86 off the start. Looks like a solid battle here between Lunan and Grove. Right bumper to bumper. That is for the transfer spot going into the feature race.
So far, so clean throughout the field, besides that little bit of a jump from Pasucci there at the start. But everybody, so far, so clean, as I just said. Got a little bit of a battle here forming between Matty Grove and DiGiacomo as he falls off the back bumper of the 86 of Chris Lunan.
Absolutely. That 472 of Matthew Grove is going to have to kind of regain a little bit of ground here on that 86. Here we come around the first lap. Let's see who takes strategy here. JP DeFino is going to take his joker. It looks like he will be the only one to take his joker.
It's an interesting strategy there, but I do agree with it honestly because you're already out front. Might as well just make that gap as large as you can and just go for it all at this point. Just keep going.
Absolutely. Car wide off the back. I think that was the 555 of Joseph DiGiacomo getting a little wide in the corner, but he was able to correct it. You know, Matthew Grove is hounding down Chris Lunan right now for that final transfer spot. Grove nice and slow through the corner. Lunan took it a little bit wide, and it looks like the 472 of Grove is kind of gaining in. Lunan going to take strategy this time by. Grove will stay on the track. Looks like DiGiacomo in the triple five will also take his joker. And curiously, he's stopping at the end of his joker lap there.
I think he might have had a slowdown there.
Possibly a slowdown. I think you're right there. And with that now, really all it's going to come up to now is Matthew Grove taking his joker. We're going to see where he's going to fall compared to Chris Lunan. Because it looks like JP has quite a nice cushion out in front of this field.
Oh, yeah, he's gone. I mean, it is not even a contest right now. He's right there going through the right-hand corner, and it is Lunan and Grove right here. Grove going to wait until the final lap or two to go to take his joker. Beautifully executed so far for Matthew Grove as he kind of hounds down on the back of the 86. Worked out really well for him to get that clean air.
Absolutely. JP DeFino sets the fastest lap there of the session, a 43 second lap. That was a really nice time from him. Absolutely. He has been bad quick tonight. As Matthew Grove yet to take his joker, we're going to see when exactly that strategy is going to come into play. Although, honestly, looking at the gap between them, they're pretty close. I would think if Grove jokers here, he at least, I would say, be on the bumper of Lunan. And he is indeed going to wait for the final lap here. So this is going to have to be the lap of his life. Going to have to take an amazing joker here to get up right to the, hopefully, side-by-side with the 86, if not in front of him.
That last lap, he was up about a second on Lunan, so he's going to be at the
oh, yeah, look at him.
Bumpers.
He's right there. Yeah, with that joker that he's about to take,
he'll get him.
We'll see. He might get him here.
He should. As I say, I believe the delta for the joker is about a second, and he's within that second margin. Now about half a second. It's going to be really close here, but I don't think it's actually going to be close at all, actually.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Coming around the final corner is JP DeFino. He will go over the jump and will take a commanding victory for heat number 3. Matthew Grove will take his joker and will indeed come out in front of the 86 of Chris Lunan to take the final transfer spot to the feature. What a strategy there by the 472.
Yeah, it was really well executed by Matty Grove there to get the transfer spot. Push Lunan down to third. He's going to have to go through the LCQ. And we're going to see what happens here with him. But he definitely showed a lot more pace than we were expecting Chris Lunan. So hats off to him for having a really good run right there.
All right. And with that, we're going to go to our LCQ. It looks like we only have one LCQ this time around. And your grade up for that is going to be Damon Mitchell starting up front with Stephen Moreau, Chris Lunan, Jacob Krask, Dylan Babcock, Joseph DiGiacomo, Jeff Cartwright, and Joseph Pasucci rounding out your lineup. So an 8-car LCQ, I believe, if I remember correctly, 4 go to the feature, correct?
I believe so.
So top 4 will be advancing to the feature race is what I'm seeing here on my my screen here. Looks like all cars are gridded, and the lights are off, and we are green. Chris Lunan with a fantastic start on the outside, and we'll take a commanding jump as we're stacking up, and there's a car into the wall on the outside.
That's Babcock.
Dylan Babcock took a wide turn there. It looks like he was stuck 3 wide almost.
Oh,
Joseph DiGiacomo will
somebody
joker
take
already.
a joker. I don't know if you can do that on the start.
I'm not sure either. Joseph DiGiacomo it was there in the 555 car around.
Stephen Moreau.
Stephen Moreau goes around.
We got a 3-wide battle right here. Cartwright, Giacomo, and Pasucci all going at it here.
And so far, a fantastic battle, as it looks like the 0-15 at Pasucci going to go a little wide there. Going to try to get to the inside, makes contact with the wall.
Oh,
and there's a car flipping on the backstretch. That's I believe it's 257 at Dylan Babcock. My goodness. Chris Lunan will take his Joker up at the front. Wow, that was a gnarly-looking incident right there for the 257.
Yeah, I was not ready to see that happen that early, but so much chaos right now in this LCQ. So much is going on, but the one guy who's happy with that is Chris Lunan.
Absolutely. Chris Lunan is checked out in front of his field. Currently, the 555 of Joseph DiGiacomo holds on to the final transfer spot. And he is battling Jeff Cartwright, try to pick up an extra position there in the 55. DiGiacomo did, I believe, already Joker. Cartwright looks like was trying to Joker there, got really squirrely and backed out of it. That's going to bring this 555 back into the battle here.
Lunan resetting that fastest lap, too, a 44.1. But Kraft's going to go even faster, a 43.7 for the 659 in second place here.
Absolutely. Saints and Sinners looking solid in this one. Quite a few of their cars are currently sitting in transfer spots to move on to this feature, so that's a great result for them so far.
Got a little bit of a battle brewing back here for sixth place between Babcock and Moreau. We just saw the 257 on its lid, and there he's still going.
Yeah, he's still going, getting right past that 22 of Stephen Moreau in the Slapex car. Babcock goes a little bit wide there, but is able to keep it straight. 2 more laps to go. Chris Lunan resets fastest lap at once again 43.381. And just as I say that, Jeff Cartwright comes in with a 43.304 to run the fastest lap of the race. He is hunting down his teammate in the 659 of Jacob Krask.
Yeah, him and Krask have yet to take their Jokers too, so that's going to give them a little bit of space on the 555 of Joseph DiGiacomo right behind him, though.
Yes, and Damon Mitchell in the 27, I believe he has taken his Joker already. Or no, he hasn't. He's going to take it now. That will, let's see if that gets him past the 555 at DiGiacomo for the transfer spot.
Just barely
and
there.
He does indeed. He will come out in front with 1 lap to go.
When he ran wide here, here comes DiGiacomo back on the inside. This is the battle for the transfer spot here.
DiGiacomo will pass him on the inside for the transfer spot. They're going to be neck and neck coming to the line here. They're going to need really good execution here to make sure they can keep themselves in this fight. Mitchell going to try to get a look to the inside. He's going to run a little bit wide. He's going to get loose on the exit. He's going to go way wide on that corner now. It looks like that will unfortunately take him out of this one. Chris Lunan takes a commanding victory of the last chance qualifier. Jacob Krask, Jeff Cartwright, and Joseph DiGiacomo will be moving on to tonight's feature event.
So I do have to take a look there. I'm not sure. And so I can't remember who it was. I believe it was one of the, I think it was the 555 at DiGiacomo who did take his Joker on the first lap there. I can't remember.
I believe you're correct about that. I believe it was. I'm not sure. We weren't sure if that was allowed or not. We'll have to get confirmation on that.
And it looks like, yeah, it does. The order has been updated. David Mitchell in, Joseph DiGiacomo out.
Wow, my goodness. Oh, what a crucial mistake there from DiGiacomo. That is unfortunate, but congratulations to newcomer Damon Mitchell, who will be heading on in to the feature event. All right, it looks like now our drivers will be taking their warm-up laps here to get themselves ready for the feature event. All right, so with that, while our drivers get ready for the event, so will we. We'll be right back for more from Sonoma, California.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous with your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Betty to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. Grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like he's going with his speed.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser.
Welcome back, everyone, to the first ever event of the NASA Rallycross Challenge Futures event here at Sonoma Raceway. We had quite a eventful start in our heat races, and now we're getting prepped up for our feature race of the night. With that, we'll get a few sponsor plugs in here as well. The NASA Rallycross Challenge is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Harlan, for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Cameras are all season on ASN are brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinal IV, for your continued camera support. Finally, the intro music for the NASA World feed was produced by Alex Abedi. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more events like this. NASA Rallycross will be continuing throughout the fall, and the rest of the OSRL series will be continuing in October as well. So we have quite a bit of content coming to you. So be sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Let's bring Victor back into the booth here. Well, Victor, we saw quite an eventful 2 heat races and last chance qualifier there. Heading into our feature, do you expect most of the same kind of chaos that we saw in the earlier events?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would hope not for the sake of these guys. I mean, for their mental health, I hope it's not as chaotic as it was just a moment ago, but at the same time, you never know, and that's what Lights has always been, just organized chaos is what Lights competition is, and I think this is going to be nothing different. We're going to probably see at least 1 or 2 cars make contact here on the start. It's going to be the most cars we've had on a start all night long, so it's going to be interesting to see with that. And then also we're going to have 5 cars transfer into the Lights race tonight as well, so keep that in mind as we go through the feature as well.
Absolutely. Points are not the only thing on the line here tonight. Well, glory is always on the line, isn't it? But also a chance to race with the big boys up in Lights. And I can tell you a lot of the drivers are hungry for that. Racers always love to race. So why not earn your way into a second race tonight? I think anyone would want to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the nicest thing for these guys is it's on the same night. I do know the Contender Series and the Supercar Series do happen on different nights. Of course, Contender's happening tomorrow night, and then, of course, the Supercar Series happening on Saturday nights. And I know a lot of people don't have both those days available to them to compete. But for these guys, they don't have that problem. They're going to be here, so why not? Why not show up and run top 5 and then go on to run in Lights and go against the best of the best?
Absolutely. Should be a thrilling main event here as we're almost getting ready to get our feature race started. We have about a minute more of warm-ups here as drivers are getting themselves prepped and ready to go, kind of get a good feel for the track. I always say practice always does make perfect, especially in Rallycross. I know I practice plenty and I'm still not good, so we need to put a little bit more time out there on the track if I want to get any bit more competitive in a car like this.
The best of the best out there. They've been doing this for years. They've been having hours upon hours of seat time, and that's the most important thing for a lot of these guys, and it was the most important thing for me when I was running with these guys a couple weeks ago here in their test sessions. It's just getting track time and understanding the track and understanding the lines, because especially with rallycross racing, that's really what it comes down to, is can you hit those lines lap after lap? Can you be consistent with those lines and know where to hit your marks?
Absolutely. As we're getting ready here to get our feature race for Futures started, let's take a look at the starting grid for our feature race. Eric Dubois will start at the front of the field, followed by Lucas Hill, JP DeFino, Eric Kaplinger, Jake Robichaux, Matthew Grove, Chris Lunan, Jacob Krask, Jeff Cartwright, and rounding out your field will be the 27 of Damon Mitchell. Absolutely got a lucky break there from the 555, unfortunately taking his joker at the wrong time, getting penalized, and unfortunately losing his chance to run in the feature. As the green flag drops, we are underway in our feature race, and look at that start by the 845 of JP DeFino on the outside, nearly squeezing that 199 of Lucas Hill.
Oh, we got Krask in the wall. He got put in the tires. He had a yield, but it looks like everybody besides that cleanly through the first couple
and
corners.
Side by side, JP DeFino and Eric Dubois up for the lead as they come to the start-finish line. DeFino with the preferred line on the inside, and Lucas Hill sends it in there. Wow, that 000 went in deep into that corner.
Yeah, he went way wide. He missed that inside group by a mile, but he's still somehow hanging in there in second place, and he's going to go after JP DeFino here for the lead.
You know, as we slide on back, we got a great battle, it looks like, in the back of the field here for, I believe, about 6th between Chris Lunan, Jeff Cartwright, and Matthew Grove, all bumper to bumper here.
Yeah, most of the field bumper to bumper as we have, it looks like Jake
Couple of
Robichaux
jokers.
in the wall back there.
Jake Robichaux in the 69 in the wall. A couple of cars taking jokers as well. Lucas Hill in the 189, Chris Lunan in the 86. Now remember, in NASA Rallycross, there are 2 joker laps, so everyone's going to have 2 chances to take strategy here tonight.
Yeah, that's right, and it's going to be interesting to see who waits until the end, takes the Chris Wet strategy and waits until the end to use your jokers, or do they take them right away and try to get some clean track?
Absolutely. Oh, a little bit of smoke there coming from the 000. Looks like he must have been using the brake there, the e-brake on the corner there. There's the 27 right there, Damon Mitchell, who has got quite a bit up the field. He started all the way at the back in 10th, and look at him crawling his way all the way up to 5th. I believe this is his first NASA Rallycross event. A fantastic showing for him as Lucas Hill sits fastest lap of the race at a 43.401.
And we just saw Eric Kaplinger there in the 277 for move over at speeding time, take his joker. He's being spotted by our very own Brian Sawyer up there on the Spire stand tonight. He's actually going to be in the Lights race later on tonight, but right now he's playing spotter for the 277.
Absolutely. Motorsport has always been a team sport, and well, it's always good when you're not racing to make sure you're watching everyone else on your team race and make sure they're keeping their nose clean, because in a race like this with this many cars, it's definitely not an easy task.
No, not at all. And it's definitely great to have that experience of somebody like Brian Sawyer up there for you.
And Jake Robichaux has unfortunately disconnected, I guess, after getting into the wall. Must have been too much to repair. An unfortunate outing for him. Had a great run in his heat race. Just unfortunately his night ended a little too soon.
And unfortunate for sure for him. But so he'll definitely be back next week. We'll see him back, and hopefully he'll be able to get back into this thing next week and race another day for sure.
Absolutely. We have a solid battle for 4th brewing here between Eric Dubois in the 000 and Damon Mitchell in the 27. He's been slowly reeling him in and appears to be gaining once more.
And we're going to see Damon Mitchell here on board with him, taking that nice inside line. You need to get that car right to that white line. That's going to be where all of the grip is. Gets it there. But Dubois does a little bit of a better job there, kind of diamonds the corner off a little bit better than he can. But so far, so good here for Damon Mitchell in his NASA Rallycross debut.
Absolutely, he looks strong out there tonight. A great run for the 27 car there.
Well, looks like Dubois is going to joker right there in front of him.
Absolutely taking his strategy there. I believe that is his first joker of the race. I don't believe he's jokered. He's going to come out side by side right there with the 277 of Eric Kaplinger. He's going to take the spot. That will vault him up into the 3rd position as of now.
And while we were away from that, JP DeFino did take his second joker. I believe that was on lap 5 or 4 there. He took that second joker, and now his strategy's done. He's the first driver in the field to have that strategy done. But Lucas Hill reeling him in a little bit at a time here, 2.5 seconds back.
Absolutely. Lucas Hill still has one more joker left to take, so he'll hopefully gain at least a second up here to the 845 and try to hopefully have a run here on his teammate.
I wouldn't count out Eric Dubois either. He's right there, not more than about a second behind Lucas Hill. So it is a 3-horse dog show here at the pony races, as they say. I probably got that phrase completely wrong, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it.
That's all right. Look at this great battle brewing here between the 472 of Matthew Grove and the 27 of Damon Mitchell. He's been reeling him in the past couple of laps.
Oh, Mitchell way wide there.
Mitchell wide off the racing line there, and almost contact.
Oh, there is contact.
And there will be contact.
Shoulder, elbows out for Damon Mitchell. He's not taking anything from Matty Grove. He wants to keep that spot in 5th. He wants to transfer on.
JP Tofino sets fastest lap of the race. First lap, I think it's been under 43, a 42.911. That is a blazing lap up at the front of the field.
Oh, especially in these lights cars, as we see contact between Grove and Mitchell. That's going to open the door for Jeff Cartwright.
Look at this, a 3-horse race right there. 3 cars under a blanket, and look at that. The 55 of Jeff Cartwright taking advantage of the situation there and blazing right past Matthew Grove and Damon Mitchell, who are still side by side.
Oh, and contact.
And big contact. The 27 of Mitchell is around. 472 of Grove is around. That opens the door right there for that car. It just squeezed right through. I think that was the 86 of Chris Lunan.
Yeah, I believe that was. And back up front, Kaplinger, I believe, just completed his strategy there with that Joker. Yes, he did. So Kaplinger finished with his strategy, now looking at Hill and Dubois to finish theirs.
Absolutely. Big contact there coming into that corner between the 472 of Matthew Grove and the 27 of Damon Mitchell. They were side by side for a couple of laps there. You knew that was going to happen, and well, looked like wheels got a little locked up there. Looks like someone got kind of launched off the bumper as Lucas Hill takes his Joker. And look at how close he's going to come to the 845 of JP Tofino. This is going to be a tight battle as we come to our final lap.
Putting the pressure on him. Here we go. White flag in the air. He's going to get the better line. Here we go.
Strategy is done. 2 Saints and Sinners teammates will battle for the win of this one. The 845 of JP Tofino out front. The 199 of Lucas Hill chasing him down. Let's see, through the corner, both very clean right there. Will Lucas Hill be able to get anything for him?
I don't think he will, but we'll see.
Let's see, here we go, around the final turn, and over the final jump. It's a close battle for the win, but JP Tofino will take the feature win in the first ever NASA Futures Series. So JP Tofino, Lucas Hill, Eric Kaplinger, Eric Dubois, and Jeff Cartwright, it looks like, will be moving on to the lights race later this evening. Wow, what an eventful feature we had right there. What a great win for JP. Definitely was the class of the field tonight.
Absolutely. JP Tofino getting it done for Saints and Sinners. So Saints and Sinners 1-2. And a commanding 1-2 at that as well for those two. Over 3 seconds ahead of the next driver, and that was Eric Kaplinger there in 3rd. So that's your podium right there. Tofino, Hill, Kaplinger, and then Dubois and Cartwright rounding out your top 5. All 5 of those guys moving on to the big show here in NASA Rallycross Lites. So give it up for them. We'll be seeing them in just a moment.
Absolutely, and really a shame there for Matthew Grove and Damon Mitchell. Made contact about on lap 7 or 8 there midway through the race. Unfortunately, they were battling for that 5th spot that Cartwright took. One of them could have had a shot at the lights race tonight. Just an unfortunate circumstance for them.
Yeah, absolutely. As JP Tofino's gone all the way down to the hairpin there. We don't even have a camera. I don't think that we can get him on. So we'll just go to his. We'll just go to the onboard. Why not?
Yeah, let's take a look at him burning it down here. He will now go down in NASA history as the first ever winner in the NASA Futures Series. Isn't that a cool story to say?
Yeah, absolutely. And these donuts are going to make me dizzy. I hope he's not going to be too dizzy after all of these donuts as well, because I know he's going to want to try to get the double done here. Win not only the Futures race here tonight, but also the lights.
Absolutely. Everyone wants to be Kyle Busch, so we'll see if JP DeFino can pull that off. And I believe we should be pulling them up for interviews here shortly, so we'll be able to hear from our top 3 drivers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get JP DeFino and company up here to the booth here.
Looks like we will, so let's bring them on up for us. All right, our race winner, JP DeFino, is here in the commentary box. Victor, he's all yours.
Yes, I hear you. A little bit, not too much though, but I figured just get ahead, while I'm already ahead, get as much, since I have a good pace, just get out there and keep going. Oh yeah, no, because I told him, like, you might want to joker this lap, and then I started screwing up. I'm like thinking to myself, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Yes, I would like to thank the NASA team and ASN team, of course. You guys put on, their show. It's great. I also would like to thank my team, everyone, especially with our fast guys all of a sudden. We help each other get faster. The team owner, Saints and Sinners Automotive, and then my sponsors, Yellow Speed Racing, Tomioka Racing, and Supreme Performance as well.
That's fantastic, JP. Great to have you up here. It appears you got the questions ahead of time. As we hear, we're getting technical difficulties again. It appears we can't hear Victor. So, well, JP, I'm glad you knew all the questions tonight, and congratulations on your win. We'll see you in a couple minutes here for the lights.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. All right, with that, I will be bringing up Lucas Hill here to the booth, our second place finisher. Hello, Lucas. This is Ethan and Victor in the ASM booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, Lucas, what a race it was. A Saints and Sinners 1-2. It looked like you had quite a run there on JP there at the end. Just take us through your race there, your strategy, and how you were able to come home with that lovely silver podium finish.
For the start, I was kind of nervous being in the middle because I know the middle is never good. And exactly what happened was I got pinched off, and I kind of just had to play back and make sure I got out clean. And then on that first corner after the start-finish line, JP kind of checked up a little harder than I thought he was going to, and that kind of dropped me back to 5th. And I then decided I was going to take a joker early just because there was a lot of fighting going on. So combined together, that if I take my joker now, I'm going to be able to get cleaner laps later. So that kind of is what saved me through the race, and then it was just chasing down JP for the rest of it.
Absolutely, and I believe this is your first go in the NASA Rallycross Series. I know you've had an experience with us over at OSRL as well. Just take me through what you thought of your first race here and how you're liking it so far.
I enjoyed it a lot. I like Rallycross a lot, and I thought this was really good competition-wise. I'm hoping to see what the open class looks like here shortly, so I think it'll be fun.
Absolutely, it's great to hear. Anyone you'd like to thank here for your podium finish here tonight?
I'd like to thank Saints and Sinners for bringing me on so I can try this opportunity that is Rallycross, because they introduced me to it for the most part. So I'm gonna enjoy the season and have fun doing it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming to talk to us, Lucas. We hope to see you hopefully up in the booth with us once again here in a couple moments as you're racing lights.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, that was Lucas Hill, our second place finisher here tonight. And with that, we will step aside as we transfer over to our lights race, which is going to be starting soon. So you'll catch lights on the other side of the break.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, Nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous with your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN, safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two and turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. Open the 26. He has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Eddie to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. Grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Rocky's going to hold his power.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous with your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sonoma, California for the start of Season 5 of the NASA Rallycross Lites series. And, well, we saw an eventful race at Futures here just a couple of moments ago. A resounding race for JP Divino, who wiped the field pretty clean. Now he'll have some competition here with the big boys up here in Lites. Of course, we have Victor Vallee here in the booth alongside of myself, Ethan Halsey, as we look to bring to you the 5th season of NASA Rallycross. Well, Victor, we know what we saw here in the Futures race. What are we expected to see here in the Lites race? Probably much of the same, I would expect.
I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be a little more organized. It's going to be a little less crazy, a little less chaotic. These guys are a little bit more experienced, so we're going to see a little bit more order to the chaos, but we're still going to see chaos. I can guarantee you that we will still see chaos. There's not a doubt in my mind that we're going to see some chaos. And if you notice, I keep emphasizing the word chaos because I know we're going to have chaos. So.
Absolutely. Well, in case you just joined us, let's go over the format. The format is as follows. We're finishing our open practice currently, which leads us into a 3-lap single-car qualifying that'll split the field equally into 5-lap heat races with the Joker lap only taken once. The top 2 will transfer to the feature automatically, with the winner getting 3 bonus points and the runner-up getting 2. The rest of our drivers will be sent to the semifinals, also 5 laps with 1 Joker. The top 2 will transfer to the feature, and the winners will receive a bonus point. This will set our grid for our 10-lap feature race, where the points are awarded and the trophies are handed out. And unique to NASA Rallycross, as we just saw with the features, 2 Jokers will be taken during the feature. Let's get some programming notes out of the way here. NASA Rallycross Contenders will be coming to you guys tomorrow night. Round 1 also here at Sonoma will be tomorrow, Monday night at 9 Eastern. Followed by NASA Rallycross Supercars, also at Sonoma, will be at 2 p.m. Eastern this Saturday, September 7th. Then you'll catch Victor and me once again next week for our Futures Lites doubleheader. Round 2 will be at Iowa. That will be on the 8th of September with 8 p.m. Eastern for the Futures and 9 p.m. Eastern for Lites. But that looks like our open practice is coming here to a conclusion shortly, and we'll see our drivers begin their qualifying laps. Now, Victor, do you expect our drivers from the Future Series to really compete with these guys here tonight? Do you expect JP to be running up at the front still?
I think so. I mean, honestly, of course, you're going to have a lot of guys that have more experience than JP has right now. But as you can see, he's taking every effort he can right now to practice as we do push the session forward to our qualifying now. But, of course, he's still got pace over a lot of these guys. And, of course, you never know what can happen on the start. It could be as simple as one guy getting a bad start on the front row and allowing him to have that chance to compete with the front guys. Or maybe perhaps even more crazy things could happen here. It is NASA Rallycross at the end of the day. And it's just as Murray Walker says about Formula 1, anything can happen in Rallycross, and it normally does. So, with that said, you never know who's going to win one of these things until the final, the first car crosses the line on the final lap of the race.
Absolutely. As our qualifying has commenced, the first car on track is the 88 of Brian Sawyer. He has clocked his first lap here. He's getting ready to punch in that time coming around the final few corners. Looked like a clean lap so far. He will set the pace for the rest of the field. Coming around, going over the jump, and down the front straightaway he goes. And he will pin in our first lap time of the night, a 42.235. That is a blazing fast lap from the move over at Speedy Time driver. But it's not the fastest one. The 024 of Robbie Kirtley will go to the front row, 42.076. That is a blazing fast lap time from the 024.
Yeah, and we were talking to Brian before the race started tonight. He said that he expected to possibly win this race, but he said don't count out Robbie Kirtley because he's always really fast too. And as we can see here, 10th faster right now than our man here, Brian Sawyer.
Absolutely. As here comes Kirtley rounding the corner to take his second lap here. Why don't we hop on board with Robbie Kirtley here? Why don't you take us through a lap here at Sonoma Raceway?
Yeah, absolutely, as it looks like Robbie's going to just tell us no thanks. But we're going to go ahead and jump to Dan Corritto here, the third place car on track as he comes up the hill. You want to keep it all the way to the right there on the paint, and then you want to swing it all the way back over to the left, right to the paint on the left side here, and then you have to get this thing swinging right here all the way to that right side. Don't clip that wall, and now you have another right-hander here where you don't want to clip that wall as well. Those walls poke out a lot as you're on the brakes here as that paint changes, and through the right-hander over the jump, and you're back to the start-finish line here before you hit that sweeping right-hander uphill in the carousel section of the Sonoma Raceway. We're going backwards up the carousel compared to what they normally run in.
Absolutely. A couple of updates while we were on board. Devin Hughes in the 60 has moved up into the third position, a 42.374. That's a solid time from the 60 car. And Robbie Kirtley has set her first sub 42 second lap of the session, a 41.935. That is a fantastic lap from the 024. That's blazing quick.
Incredibly quick and incredibly impressive as well. For Kirtley, they're about 0.3 of a second faster than Brian Sawyer. Brian Sawyer did go a little bit faster, I believe, on his third lap there. Got it down to a 42.235, but again, not going to be enough here. But pretty close overall here. Our top six within a second of each other here. So, as they say, anything can and will happen, and with this field that close, it is most likely going to happen.
So right here we have a car on track going pretty slow there, it looks like. A couple cars kind of putzing around the track. You have the 000 Eric Dubois. I believe he has already logged all 3 of his laps. I believe he's merely just getting practice.
Looks like everybody has, so we're just waiting on the timer to expire here, I would assume. But while we do have that moment, say just to kind of recap everybody on last season, say we can go back and take a look at those notes if we have those. Just to remind everybody of the stat book here. Just got a reminder here, the Josh Clogg not racing this year in lights. And I believe last year's champion was indeed Josh Clogg. So our defending champion not here this year. Josh Mertz, of course, he was in the championship battle last year as well. He's not here tonight, but he does intend to run this season. And his team, JC Simsport, does have 2 carts. One, of course, not making the lights tonight, which would be the 27 there from earlier. But with that said, however, they do have Devin Hughes out there tonight, and he has qualified that car P3. But the highest driver on the wins count tonight is going to be Brian Sawyer in 5th place there. So he's going to be the man to beat with everything considered here. So him and Robbie Kirtley going to be the class of the field from what we can understand.
Yeah, it's looking really really quick for Kirtley. So I know Sawyer came up here in the booth earlier, was saying, I feel like I could be pretty fast tonight, but the one driver I'm going to look out for is Robbie Kirtley. And lo and behold, those two have sifted their way to the top of the leaderboard and look to be competing with each other for the top of the podium. Although Devin Hughes in that 60 is not too far behind, only about a 10th off of Brian Sawyer. So I expect him to be kind of right in that mix as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And another guy we forgot to mention here, Kieran Lithlander. He should be running this full season, I do believe, but he is going to be missing this first round. So throw a wrench in his championship plans depending on how everything goes here as well.
Absolutely. A couple of very quick drivers missing tonight. You know, Josh Mertz, he's always has a ton of pace here in the lights, and Kieran Lithlander has pace on essentially any rallycross car he gets into. One of the fastest drivers in the world. Definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with next week when we head to Iowa.
Yeah, and another thing to think about here, team championships. Let's say we have the Saints and Sinners cars out there. I believe they were last year's champion on countback for the team's championship. They're going to be defending that really well with the standout crew they have this year with JP DeFino and Dan Carrito there. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. I believe they're the only team here with 2 cars, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe
and
the
then,
move over at Speedy Time team has 2 cars as well.
And
yes.
they were in the top 3 as well last year. Came down to a 3-way fight there, and it was moving over is Speedy Time at first, but unfortunately through some penalties, move over Speedy Time did lose that team's championship to Saints and Sinners on countback.
Yeah, such a rich history here in NASA. It's been going on for quite a long time. We've had, I believe, over 20 seasons now of the supercars for NASA. So it's quite a rich history. It's been built, and it's great, you know, to be able to win, to be able to etch your name into the NASA history books, because quite an illustrious list of names have been able to come in and out of this series. So it's quite a special series to be a part of, to be able to say that, yeah, I was able to race in NASA and was able to take home a win as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I unfortunately have not won in NASA competition, but I am a Privateers champion, and that's basically what the Contender Series is, which we'll see tomorrow night. So a lot of the Privateers drivers, the guys who aren't on the big teams, are there.
And with that, let's transition ourselves into heat number 1. Your grid looks as follows. Robbie Kirtley will start on the front with Devin Hughes, JP DeFino, Lucas Hill, and Eric Dubois rounding out the field. Joseph Pasucci is not supposed to be there, but he is popping up.
Yep, just a little bit of mistake on Pasucci's part, but not a big deal. We still make this all work out just fine.
Just waiting on one more car here to grid. I believe is the 000 of Eric Dubois, that very vibrant TWRS car. There it is. And with that, let's get ready to go green here. And the green lights drop. We are racing 3 wide, gonna go into turn 1. Look at that jump on the outside by JP DeFino. He's gonna go a little bit wide there. Not gonna be able to make it stick, but the 60 of Devin Hughes gets clipped by Robbie Kirtley and spun out into turn 2.
Great driving there by Eric Dubois not to hit him. Everybody gets away pretty clean, most things considered there, as we see Robbie Kirtley here to the lead.
My goodness, it looked like the 60 was going to have a great run on the outside there. Unfortunately, just made a little bit of contact going into turn 2. Heartbreaking for the 60 car.
Looks like Hughes, yeah, he has now rejoined the back of the field there. For a moment there on our scoring, it looked like he was out of the race, but it looks like everything has sorted itself out now here on our timing scoring screen.
And with that, you got the 2 Saints and Sinners cars battling behind as the 024 Robbie Kirtley will take his Joker lap, and so will the, I believe it's the 845 of JP DeFino.
Yeah, DeFino's going to go ahead and take that Joker. He was getting hounded by Lucas Hill right there. And again, 1 Joker in this race, so keep that in mind. It's 1 Joker in the heats and the OCQ, but 2 in the feature.
Yes, and unfortunately, I believe a driver last race, the 505, I guess wasn't made aware of the rule and took 2 jokers in the heat race. So unfortunate confusion there for the rookie. He'll definitely have that lesson ingrained into him next week. All the seasoned veterans, thankfully, know to only take 1 instead of 2.
Well, I'm going to have to rag on Josh Mertz a little bit. He forgot last year at Daytona to take 2 in the future. He only took 1, so it definitely can still happen to the best of them as we see a battle for second here between Hill and DeFino.
Side by side, both have taken their strategy. This is the battle to make it into the main feature. Lucas Hill currently now sits in front of JP DeFino after some really good strategy right there. Although don't count out that 60 car, Devin Hughes lurking in the background.
Yeah, Devin trying to have a good recovery drive as we see Lucas Hill go way wide here.
Way wide, and that opens up the door for the 60 car. Devin Hughes, is he going to have enough time to get up to JP DeFino? He's going to have 2 laps to get it done.
And they've both taken, all 3 of these guys have taken their joker, so no worries there for these guys. But where does Eric Dubois come out in all of this? Here he comes. He's going to sort his way in there into P4.
He's going to fall right in behind that 60 at Devin Hughes. And he's going to hit the curb there and fly off the track.
That's the sleeping policeman there, as Josh Mertz calls him. And he's just absolutely woken him up.
And look at this, the 60 at Devin Hughes in the JC Sim Sport car closing in on the 845 of JP DeFino in the Saints and Sinners car. It might be a close battle here as we come to the final lap to determine who's going to make it to the feature.
On board here with DeFino, looking out that back bumper. Here comes Hughes. And he's all over the track trying to get everything he can.
Robbie Kirtley sets fastest lap once again, 42.385. He is long checked out in front of the field as we come to our final lap. Can Devin Hughes make up from that earlier incident? He's going to be right on the bumper here at JP.
And all JP has to do here is just hit your marks. He can't get by you if you hit your marks here. And it looks like he is heating them up, though. Devin Hughes heating up that back bumper of JP DeFino.
Absolutely, Hughes with a solid corner there. Is he going to have enough in the last turn to get it done? Hughes going to take a look way the inside, not going to have enough. Robbie Kirtley will win the heat, and JP DeFino, the winner from Futures, will move on to the feature as well.
And looks like Hughes had a slowdown there. He hit too much to that curve.
Oh no, Hughes had a slowdown. He's going to slide way back. It looks like he'll slide down to 4th in the order. I mean, I did see he cut the inside there. It looked like he hit that curb. I guess it was just a little too far to the inside.
Yeah, unfortunate for Hughes there, but he still has our chance in the OCQ.
Absolutely. As we head into heat number 2, Brian Sawyer will start at the front of the field. Dan Corritto, Jeff Cartwright, Austin Derbyshire, and Eric Keplinger round out the field. All of them have gridded already, and it looks like the lights are green. We are already rolling. Brian Sawyer and the 320 and the car was outside right there. The 320 of Dan Corritto side by side going through. And it looks like the 88 will clear. They're going to make a little bit of contact there. Going to get Sawyer a little squirrely.
And look at Derbyshire back there running at 3 wide almost with Kaplinger and Cartwright.
Split the gap right there in that 64 car.
So as both Sawyer and
look at Derbyshire way down to the inside right there. Unfortunately, he's going to wash up. He's going to make contact with Jeff Cartwright. They're both going to spin. Derbyshire goes up the hill. Absolutely, exit stage left indeed. My goodness.
Oh my. Yeah, that was just... Derbyshire got a little bit overzealous there. He had a good run going there, and I think he might have had a slowdown as well. Trying to get out of the way, and just wrong place, wrong time, as we see Brian Sawyer take his joker here on the first lap. So his strategy is done. Now Corritto having to face Eric Kaplinger, who is actually Brian Sawyer's teammate.
Absolutely. Wouldn't it be great for the move over at Speed Time cars? Finished 1-2. Both move on to the feature. They have the Saints and Sinners car of Dan Corritto sitting in the way.
Yeah, and Corritto trying to take the Saints and Sinners cars, make 2 of those guys advance. So we'll see what happens here as Brian Sawyer goes way wide.
Corritto kind of follows his line as well, right in the tire tracks of Brian Sawyer. He's definitely closing in that gap. Now, Corritto, I don't believe, has used his strategy yet, although it looks like Kaplinger will. Let's see where Kaplinger comes out here.
It's going to be ahead of him.
Going to be ahead of Carrito. However, now Carrito has not used his strategy just yet as he just clocked the fastest lap of the race, a 43.171.
Yeah, but this is going to help Brian Sawyer here. Eric Kaplinger kind of playing blocker here for his teammate, as Carrito definitely will get back by Kaplinger here with the Joker as long as he stays right where he's at.
Yeah, now it's going to be very difficult, though, for that 320 to be able to get up to Brian Sawyer to get the win.
Yeah, that's right.
And as we saw last season, whether it's the personal championship or the team championship, every point matters. I believe 1 point differentiated Saints and Sinners and Move Over Speed Time last season. Right. So certainly that point could matter later in the season.
And I don't know about Carrito not taking the Joker right there. I don't know why you wouldn't. You're getting held up by the 277. Take the Joker, get around him, get away from him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if there's too much merit to waiting there, but, well, we'll see. I think he just I don't think he's necessarily going for the win. I think he's just going to for the feature there, just to get into the feature.
Yeah, going for bragging rights, saying that you passed the 277 legitimately, not through a Joker. I don't know what kind of bragging rights that would give, but hey,
looks like there he goes. He's going to take the Joker. He must be listening in to us. Going to get a little wide off the Joker there. I don't know if that's going to grant a slowdown.
No harm, no foul. I don't think you do get any kind of slowdown for that. So, no harm, no foul. Carrito's going to take that P2 back, but he's 1.5 seconds back of Brian Sawyer. Could have been a little bit closer had he taken that Joker one lap earlier.
Absolutely. As we're on the final lap now, the only car to not take the Joker yet appears to be Jeff Cartwright, although I'm not sure if he's on track. I know he had the incident from earlier. I believe he is, so he'll be taking that Joker on the final lap here.
And it looks like Carrito on a tear. Sawyer's hit the wall.
Slowdown, I think, for Sawyer. Yeah. Either he hit the wall or had a slowdown.
Yeah.
Oh, what a catastrophe on the final lap. Rounding the final corner, Dan Carrito will get the win in the feature. And is the 277 going to get it as well? No,
he's going to let
Brian Sawyer go.
Yeah, and that's a huge
team strategy right there. My goodness. I'm not sure what happened to Brian Sawyer there. We were watching on with Carrito. I believe he got into the wall. Let's see if we can get a replay.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all.
I believe it was a slowdown. I think he went wide there. I think he got a slowdown.
Yeah, might have had a slowdown beforehand, but coming up here to your LCQ, Ethan, what's our start?
So for the LCQ, our starting grid will be Lucas Hill, Eric Kaplinger, Devin Hughes, Jeff Cartwright, Eric Dubois, Austin Derbyshire, and again, Joseph Pasucci is not in the event tonight. So it'll be those 6 cars. The top 2 will be advancing to the main event. And with that, the green lights will drop. We are underway. The 60 of Devin Hughes on the outside there. Going to get a good-looking start. And it looks like he will vault right around the 199 of Lucas Hill. Hill's not done yet. Going to try to get on the inside. They're going to be side by side. The 60 of Devin Hughes will get out front. Hughes racing this race with a chip on his shoulder after what happened on the first lap, second turn of the heat race.
And Hughes right there out in front, but here comes Kaplinger.
Kaplinger gets squirrely, opens the door up for Jeff Cartwright in the 55. Now he's going to have to get a look here on Lucas Hill.
Yeah, and saw before exit stage right for Jeff Cartwright in his heat, but he's trying to make up for it here. P3 with Kaplinger behind as we have a battle here for 5th between Dubois and
for 5th. Might have been a little bit of contact, and Derbyshire is around.
Oh, man.
My goodness, an unfortunate debut for Austin Derbyshire, who looked like had a fantastic first couple corners in his heat race and got caught up, unfortunately, in that incident, as Eric Dubois will take his Joker there.
Way wide.
Way wide out of the corner indeed. And it looks like he's going to get a power move on the outside, but he's not going to be able to make it stick there.
No traction out there, and that's why Lucas Hill was able to power right on by on the inside there.
Yeah, so he's going to need quite a bit here as he's already used his strategy at this point. And a car around the back, I think that was Kaplinger in the 277, a little bit squirrely.
I wonder if Eric's kind of second guessing himself for letting
Jeff
Brian through.
Cartwright is jokering this time by. Both Saints and Sinners cars are jokering this time by. Although look at that gap between the 55 and the 199 as Devin Hughes sets the fastest lap of the race, 42.870.
Yeah, Devin's got nothing to worry about. Hill is about a second and a half behind him right now with Cartwright in tow to Hill, so I don't think there's really much for Hughes to worry about. He's going to get that extra bonus point, I do believe. And then it looks like it's going to be Hill, Cartwright, and Roth. Those are going to be the guys transferring on with Kaplinger, who's been having a bit of a struggle here, trying to move on. The team used to be called the Struggle Bus Racing. It looks like he's in a little bit on the struggle bus in this LCQ.
Absolutely, and you have to remember there was team strategy there to let Brian Sawyer in the 88 by at the end of that heat to make sure that he qualified in, and now he could have been in a position there to already be in the feature, and now he finds himself well outside of the transfer spot.
Absolutely, and while we were watching Devin Hughes, he had a little bit of a moment in turn one there. Gathering it back in there, and Lucas Hill closing in just a little bit now.
Yeah, look at that. He's definitely closing that gap here. We're going to come to the white flag in this last chance qualifier here this time by. And barring any kind of errors or mistakes or anything like that, these two have cleared themselves from the rest of the field. So let's see if, at this point, Lucas Hill is just going to go for glory, try to see if he can catch up to Devin Hughes, but both of them in great position to make the feature.
Ooh, Hughes really close there to getting a slowdown. You gotta be careful there. Can't get too much on the grass there, or you're gonna get a slowdown. It's gonna bite you pretty hard, especially going uphill like that. It will extend that slowdown as much as it can if you're not careful. But it looks like he's been able to get away with it.
And rounding the final corner, we'll go over the jump. Devin Hughes will make up from his earlier incident and win the last chance qualifier to get himself into the feature. And Lucas Hill will also be moving on to join his Saints and Sinners teammate, JP DeFino. As Jeff Cartwright sets the fastest lap of the race, too little too late, a 42.675, a blazing lap for the 55. Unfortunately, just wasn't quite enough to get into the feature. And with that, our drivers are now getting warmed up for the feature event. So while they do, we'll get warmed up as well. You won't miss a thing. We'll be right back with NASA Rallycross Lites here at Sonoma.
So interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous with your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN, safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds
my
it.
side between these two in the terminal. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap clock at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. Over in the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Eddie to the inside. Magnus gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Rally's going with his power.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sonoma, California for the first race of our 5th season of NASA Rallycross Lites. Victor Vallee in the production truck alongside me, Ethan Halsey in the production booth as well. We've been calling the race tonight. It's been a fantastic show so far. Great race in futures, fantastic heat races in the for lights as well. Well, Victor, what do you expect to see in this feature here?
Well, I think it's going to be a battle between Robbie Kirtley and Brian Sawyer here. That is, if Brian Sawyer can keep it mistake-free, because we saw in his heat, he did have a pretty major mistake there. That cost him what should have been a transfer spot before his teammate Eric Kaplinger let him through. So if he can keep it clean, he's going to have a shot to challenge Robbie Kirtley. But otherwise, I don't know if anyone can stop Robbie Kirtley tonight, who's technically won a race here in NASA competition, but technically not. We had that one race here a couple years ago in Supercross, I believe, or Supercars, not Supercross, excuse me, getting my dirt series mixed up here, but had that a couple years ago where it was a night race basically, and Kirtley was able to take care of business there, but I think that counted officially.
Yes, that infamous night race when this track was completely dark, and contrary to what you see on the cars there, these cars do not have headlights. It might look like they do; they are merely just stamps. So racing in the dark is especially challenging here. So it's definitely interesting for sure. As we're kind of coming to the end here of our warm-ups, while our drivers finish getting warmed up, let's go over a couple of sponsor plugs. Give some of our friends some shout-outs. Cameras all season on ASN have been brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinal IV, for your continued camera support. The intro music for the NASA World Feed was produced by Alex Abetti. With that, I guess we'll get some programming notes in here as well. NASA Rallycross Contenders will be coming back for its next season tomorrow night at Sonoma. That'll be September 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is a Monday night. NASA Rallycross Supercars will be coming back for, I believe, it is 20th season. Will be returning to Sonoma for its opening event. That will be this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. That is September 7th. And next week on the 8th, you'll be back with me and Victor here for the doubleheader of NASA Rallycross Futures and NASA Rallycross Lites at Iowa. The second round will be 8 p.m. Eastern for Futures and 9 p.m. Eastern for Lites on September 8th. And with that, it has been a very eventful night of racing, that's for sure. And definitely anticipating here the feature race. Our feature race is 10 laps, and everyone will be taking 2 jokers, and that is unique to NASA. Most other officials as well only run 1 joker.
Yeah, just a reminder for everybody in that, you know, it is 2 jokers, not like Josh did last year, and I'm going to rag on him a little bit extra for that because I do know he's probably watching tonight. You know, say he kind of snuck out of the retirement home to run the lights, so, you know, for him to forget something, that's okay, that happens sometimes, but I don't think anyone's going to forget to take 2 jokers tonight, or I might have just jinxed it there, I don't know. I believe we do have only a 6-car final here. It's going to be Kirtley, Sawyer, Carrito, DeFino, Hill, and Hughes. And not in that order. That's just what we're seeing here on our timing screen of the drivers who have taken laps. I don't believe anyone else is eligible to run in the feature tonight. So just a 6-car final.
Yes, we're be coming here. Looks like about 30 more seconds here of warm-up until we get to our main feature event.
We do go ahead and take a look at the team count here. We have 3 Saints and Sinners cars here with Carrito, Hill, and DeFino. 1 JC Sim Sport car, Devin Hughes. Brian Sawyer in the Move Over at Speeding Time car, and then Robbie Kirtley as a independent driver for himself.
Absolutely. Robbie Kirtley kind of seemingly like the Alan Kowicki of the series, running as a privateer, but going out there, winning races, compete for championships. He definitely seems like he's going to be a threat this year. All right, and as warm-up comes to a conclusion, let's get our starting grid for our feature event. Brian Sawyer will be starting on the front, if that's correct. I believe it should be actually Robbie Kirtley in the 024. He won the heat. There it goes. Robbie Kirtley will be indeed starting on the front. Dan Carrito and JP DeFino, followed by Brian Sawyer, Devin Hughes, and Lucas Hill, rounding out your feature race.
Carrito and DeFino on that front row, and then it's Sawyer, Hughes, and Hill going to be starting behind them in a staggered pattern there.
Just waiting on one more car to grid. I believe it was one of the Saints and Sinners cars, or is it?
No, it's actually Devin Hughes.
It's Devin Hughes in the JC Sim Sport car. There he is. He has appeared into existence. Let's get ready to go green. And the green lights have dropped. We are green. Robbie Kirtley on the inside, getting a nice jump over the 2 Saints and Sinners cars, and he will hang on to a sizable lead right there. Really nice move as well by Brian Sawyer in the back in the 88, moving up a couple spots.
Yeah, he's up to 3rd already. He had a great start from that 2nd row there, and he was able to take JP DeFino, your futures winner, as he's going to get in the back. And Dan Carrito, move him out of the way. Here he comes.
Bump and run by Brian Sawyer, moving Dan Carrito out of the way. He is coming for Robbie Kirtley.
As we have
and a car off the track. There's a Saints and Sinners car at the back.
Hill.
Lucas Hill in the 199, taking a little excursion.
And Sawyer's crashed.
Hits the inside wall and is crashed.
I think that's his day done. I don't know if he's got anything left in it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, what a tough night for Brian Sawyer. His 2 cars will come across a joker here. The 024 Robbie Kirtley, who now has a massive lead. JP DeFino has jokered as well, I believe, as Lucas Hill jokered.
Hill, yes. And as I mentioned earlier in warm-up, no mistakes, and he could have had them. He could have had a chance, but unfortunately for Brian Sawyer, made a mistake on the first lap. The heat was on, and unfortunately for Brian, it's going to look like he's going to be about a 6th place finish if everybody else stays clean out there.
Just a tough break there for that 88. He's been competitive all last season as well. Definitely will have his work cut out for him the rest of this season to try to get back into this championship, which I'm very confident he will do, but definitely a little demoralizing to have a race like this start off your season.
Yeah, and it looks like as well, looks like we have the Saints and Sinners cars 2, 3, 4 here, all under a blanket. They're all going for it here. It's Defino, Carrillo, Hill, your top 3 there for those guys, but Kirtley checked out from the rest of the field.
Yes, and Robbie Kirtley now with a nice sizable lead over the 3 Saints and Sinners cars. Only JP Defino, who is taking his Joker now, will Joker. Lucas Hill will go down for his second one as well. Come out side by side right in front of his teammate right there. That is JP Defino with the red wheels.
Yep.
Gotta say those Saints and Sinners cars are all exactly the same looking and are also all very dark. Kind of tough to tell each one apart on the track. I think the wheel is the only thing that differentiates them.
Yeah, and especially with the dirt coming on these cars, it is really hard to tell who's who out there between these guys. But the wheels, the rims will definitely dictate that a little bit better. And it looks like also, if you look, the roll cage is a different color as well.
With that, Lucas Hill and Brian Sawyer have completed their strategy, and it looks like the
845 going to complete his
845
strategy.
JP Defino will complete his strategy as well. Robbie Kirtley, who's checked out, by the way, just ran the fastest lap of the race once again. He still has a Joker left, and, well, these Saints and Sinners cars definitely have their work cut out for them if they want to get up to him.
Yeah, it seems like they're just kind of not even sparring against each other. They're just kind of riding together here in a pack. You know, it's the Saints and Sinners pack here. Devin Hughes a little bit further back off of them. I think he kind of had to check up for the spinning car of Brian Sawyer, so that cost him a little bit of time. So it looks like it's kind of everything's going to be settled down here, and not a lot of chaos at all besides Brian Sawyer's chaos.
Absolutely. The 024 of Robbie Kirtley. Still one more Joker to go. He has not taken it yet. Same thing with Devin Hughes. Also has not Jokered yet. The Saints and Sinners cars following right in line with each other. Dan Carrillo also is due to Joker, so I would imagine he would slide up to the second spot in the 320.
Yeah, it all depends on his pace here. Your futures winner, JP Defino, kind of pulling away from Dan a little bit here.
Yeah, he might have enough. We'll see if it's enough of a gap to be able to hang on to the second spot, even with the Joker. Here goes Carrillo, going down for his Joker. Defino over the jump. Carrillo, and Carrillo will come out in front of Defino by a decent margin there. Now Carrillo's going to have his work cut out for him to keep himself away from the 845 of Defino.
Yeah, it's about a 1.5 second gap here, Delta, on that Joker lap. So right now, as it stands, even if Hughes takes that Joker, it's not going to be enough to catch Lucas Hill, but it was enough for Carrillo to jump his teammate there in the 845 JP.
And Robbie Kirtley in the 024 has still yet to take his second Joker, although he really hasn't needed to. He's been in clean air up front. No one's really challenged him. He's been bad fast all night. Brian Sawyer had him on pace a little bit, but of course ran into a ton of trouble here tonight. Actually had him had a really solid heat race to Brian Sawyer running up front until unfortunately that slowdown kind of ruined everything for him. Going through the field here as Robbie Kirtley will come around it on the 8th lap of the race here. Will still not quite take his Joker here with 2 to go. He'll still have to take it, but a 2.5 or so second gap between him and Carrillo. And Carrillo was about 0.3 slower than Kirtley that lap. So Kirtley has total control over this race.
Yeah, absolutely nothing anybody has for Kirtley right now. He's on cruise control out there. His last lap, a 42.8, That's 0.4 of a second there, about faster than Dan Carrito in second with that 43.2 he put up. So not a lot there, as it looks like we got Vallee here.
Oh.
It looks like Defino might have
Little
had
bit
a,
wide there.
Carrito might have had a slowdown and had to let Defino go. As we have Lucas Hill taking a slowdown as well.
And look at that, it's going to open up the door for that 60 car, Devin Hughes, to use his final joker and gain a ton of ground, passing the 199 Lucas Hill. Now he's right in this battle on the final lap with the two Saints and Sinners cars. And Hughes diving onto the inside of Dan Carrito. He's in a podium spot now.
Who would have thought that 2-3 laps ago that Hughes had any shot at a podium? But here he is now in position to get potentially P2 if he can hang on. Oh, and almost contact.
Carrito, they almost make contact right there.
Wow.
You know, up at the front. Oh, Kirtley has a slowdown up there.
Kirtley slowing down.
Kirtley with a slowdown. Around go the Saints and Sinners cars. Unbelievable turn of events as JP Defino will win.
He pulled it off.
Do the Kyle Busch. He pulls off the double.
Wow.
Dan Carrito would have been in position to pass Kirtley there at the end of the race. But unfortunately had to slow down and open up the door for Defino.
Oh my goodness.
What a conclusion of that. I don't know if that was a slowdown for Kirtley there because he slowed down. He was slowing down all the way up the jump as well.
Had to be, man. Oh my goodness. What a finish. I don't think anyone expected a finish like that. What a topsy-turvy event.
My goodness. The story of tonight has absolutely been penalties. Multiple drivers tonight have taken costly penalties that have cost them races. Currently all the way down to the 5th position down there after seemingly dominating this race. He was checked out for easily 8 or 9 laps of this race. My goodness, I can't believe it. I'm speechless.
I am too. I don't even know what to say. That was that was the most insane finish to a NASA Rallycross event I have ever seen. And I've seen quite a few of them.
And we are opening up this season in style here with a fantastic first event. Devin Hughes, who was 5th on lap 9, will end the race in 2nd on the podium with a silver medal. Can you believe that either? That's just as unbelievable as Kirtley falling off.
Absolutely, man. That is insane.
I mean, I want to see if we can get a replay there, Kirtley. I'm curious to see how bad that slowdown was because he was slow all the way through the turn, through the whole back straightaway. I just don't know if a slowdown would be that much time.
So we're going to see what happened here. We're going to go right back to it. As we try to get this everything set up here, see what happened to Kirtley.
And Devin Hughes, it appears he had a slowdown during the race as well. So just slowdowns from everybody tonight. Yeah, the story of the night has absolutely been penalties. That is one thing that's been for sure. That's a common trend between both futures and this as well. We're getting confirmation that Robbie Kirtley, if you can believe it or not, ran out of gas going into the final corner.
Underfilled the car. Are you kidding? That is insane.
Just wanted to get that weight down to get as little fuel in the car as possible and ran out of gas. I'm not too familiar with the history of NASA, but I'm not sure. Has that happened before? A driver running out of gas?
Yep, and listen to it. Out of gas.
Sputtering. Wow. What a turn of events. And to come that short, just coming around the final corner.
Oh. It goes from 1st to 5th.
To 5th. That is heartbreaking for that 024 who ran a fantastic race tonight and was absolutely the class of the field.
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Well, with that, let's bring up interviews and let's see if our drivers are just as shocked as we are about what's happened. Let's see if we have anyone in the media pen to be able to bring up for us.
See what we can do here. See who's still around. So we got a couple of the Saints and Sinners guys. We'll probably bring in JP DeFino once more. We'll move him up to the media pen along with Dan Carrito as well here. And I think that's all we have here. And Ethan, you can go ahead and take these interviews away since unfortunately they cannot hear me.
Absolutely, let's bring it up. JP, this is Ethan and Victor in the ASM booth. You got us? So you pull off the Kyle Busch, you pull off the double in, albeit very dramatic fashion. What was going through your head there as Robbie Kirtley was rounding the final corner out of fuel? I mean, yeah, it seems crazy in the surface of it to especially with the race he ran to run out of gas, and to add on top of that coming onto the final lap, you weren't even second either. I believe your teammate Dan Carrito also had a slowdown. So just take me through that race and take me through your night as a whole, being able to bring home the double. Yeah, well, sometimes racing is definitely a big part skill, but also a little bit of luck too. I absolutely abide by that myself. Well, who do you have to thank once again for another win here tonight in Lights? Well, thank you for coming up to talk to us, JP. If I were you, if you want to go play the lottery, you'd probably win tonight with the luck you've had. I definitely recommend going doing that. But have a great night, JP, and soak in these 2 wins for us. All right, that was your winner, JP DeFino. Next, let's bring up our 3rd place finisher, Dan Carrito, to the ASM booth. Dan, this is Ethan and Victor in the ASM booth. You got us? All right, Dan. I know an unfortunate result there for you. I know running second most of the race was in a position, of course, for Kirtley to run out of fuel. I know you had a slowdown there that unfortunately might have inevitably cost you the win. Just take us through your race as a whole and take us through that entire final lap there, which is extremely chaotic. Yes, a great night for Saints and Sinners, both in the Futures and the Lights. Take me through that last lap as well. Robbie Kirtley ran out of gas, and your teammate, thankfully being in a perfect position to run to win. I imagine it's got to be heartbreaking knowing that could have been you in that position. All right, Well, apparently he ran out of fuel on the final lap going to the final corner. Yeah, that is some terrible luck there for the 024. So with that, Dan, who would you like to thank tonight for your 3rd place performance? All right, well, thanks for coming on Talk to us, Dan. We'll see you next week at Iowa. You as well. And with that, that was Dan Corritto, our second place finisher tonight, or excuse me, our third place finisher in the race tonight. It appears we do not have our second place finisher, Devin Hughes, however.
It does not look like he's around, but great result for that JC Sim Sport team. And I do know if Devin was around, he would definitely want to thank the entire JC Sim Sport team there of Josh and Jess Rakowski and everybody else behind the scenes with that for sure.
Absolutely. So with that, why don't we get everything wrapped up here? So we'll start with our sponsor plugs once again. NASA Sim Racing is brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/whiplashmedia. Thank you, Andrew Cardinal IV, for your continued camera support. And of course, the intro music for the NASA World Feed is produced by Alex Abetti. Programming notes as well. NASA Rallycross contenders will be coming to Sonoma tomorrow night, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is the 20th season of Contenders and Supercars. Has been quite a long run for the NASA sim racing guys. Speaking of supercars, round 1 at Sonoma will be this Saturday, September 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern. You'll be seeing us back in the booth for Rallycross Futures and Lights, the doubleheader that will be coming to us on Sunday night, September 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern for Futures, 9 p.m. Eastern for Lights. And we should expect some point at the beginning of October for the OSRL GT3 series to be returning on Thursday nights as well. With that, let's get your final thoughts here, Victor. What an eventful night. If you want to soak that all in, quite a bit happened here tonight. Just take me through your thoughts and what we thought on as a race as a whole.
Honestly, it was a race of chaos and unpredictability, as I thought. At one point, I was content and thought it was just over. I thought that, we've had our chaos. That's it. No more. And then here we are on the final lap with all these positions switching around with Corritto and DeFino and Kirtley and everybody else and Hughes. We had so many position swaps on that final lap. I don't even know that I knew it was what was going on for a moment there. And to realize that Kirtley ran out of gas and then Corritto had his moment. And so DeFino was able to sneak by and win this race. If you told me that 2-3 laps before that, I would say you're crazy. So, again, as I said at the beginning of this broadcast, anything can and typically does happen in NASA Rallycross racing, and it certainly did tonight.
Absolutely, just a shocking turn of events here tonight for JP DeVino to be able to pull off the double in quite a dramatic fashion with Robbie Kirtley running out of gas into the final turn. You can't even script that, to be honest. It's just a crazy turn of events for that to happen. Unbelievable heartbreak for Kirtley, but one man's trash is another man's treasure, as they always say. And with that, JP DeFino gets to go home a double winner tonight. If you like what you saw tonight on the Automotive Sports Network, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. We usually stream every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. And be sure to click the bell as well to get notified for more broadcasts coming to you soon. All right, and with that, the checkered flag falls on the evening. For all of us at Automotive Sports Network, from Jess Rakowski, Victor Vallee, Jared Lott, Chad Irvine, Philip Kraus, Justin Robichaux, Cody Erdman, James Watson, Brian Sawyer, and Josh Mertz, my name is Ethan Halsey. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the NASA Rallycross Lights and Future Series from Sonoma. We congratulate our winner, I would say winners, but there's only one of them, JP DeFino. And until next time, so long, everyone.